àbọ̀yè bọ́ ṣíṣẹ́ ogbó atọ́ àsúre ìwòrìwò fún. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ẹ̀kọ́lọ̀ bàrà lóró sùn, ifá mi ààrẹ ni rere bá jayé bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní torofíní rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi torofíní jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ eku. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ẹ̀kọ́lọ̀ bàrà lóró sùn, ifá mi ààrẹ ni rere bá jayé bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní àkàrà bá rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi àkàrà bá jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹja. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ẹ̀kọ́lọ̀ bàrà lóró sùn, ifá mi ààrẹ ni rere bá jayé bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní ọ̀kín rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi ọ̀kín jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹyẹ. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ẹ̀kọ́lọ̀ bàrà lóró sùn, ifá mi ààrẹ ni rere bá jayé bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní òdùsọ̀ pàǹpà rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi òdùsọ̀ jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ekin. Ó ní kìnìún rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi kìnìún jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹran. Ó ní ọ̀kànbí lèǹgelèǹje rẹ ni rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi ọ̀kànbí jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹni. Wọ́n ní ọ̀kànbí máa jẹ ọlọ́jà nígbà yìí ó, síwájú akún kẹ̀yìn aya tì. Ṣé ní ìwúre fún gbogbo wa, a máa rẹ ni rere bá jayé, a máa rí ènìyàn rere bá rìnrìn àjò ilé ayé wa lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba Olódùmarè. We found the right person that will work together with us in the course of our journey here on planet Earth by the power of Olódùmarè. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò tẹ́ kẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́, ifá mi àgbà ní rè bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní orí ló gbé torofíní, ó fi torofíní jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ eku. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò tẹ́ kẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́, ifá mi àgbà ní rè bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní orí gbé àkàrà bá, ó fi àkàrà bá jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹja. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò tẹ́ kẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́, ifá mi àgbà ní rè bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní orí gbé ọ̀kín, ó fi ọ̀kín jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹyẹ lórí igi. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò tẹ́ kẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́, ifá mi àgbà ní rè bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní orí gbé kìnìún, ó fi kìnìún jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹyẹ. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò tẹ́ kẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́, ifá mi àgbà ní rè bára mi àgbọn nìrègún. Ó ní orí gbé òdùsọ̀ pàǹpà, ó fi jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ikin. Ó ní orí gbé ọ̀kànbí lèǹgelèǹje, ó fi ọ̀kànbí jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ ẹni. Wọ́n ní ọ̀kànbí mà ti wá jẹ ọlọ́jà nígbà yìí ó, kíwájú akún kẹ̀yìn aya tì. Mo ṣe ní ìwúre, orí wa á gbé wa débi ire, ẹsẹ̀ wa á sìn wá débi ayọ̀. Our ori will take us to our destination by the power of Olódùmarè. And everything that I've said now will come to pass by the power of Olódùmarè. So you are welcome to today's program. My name is Babalawo Olariwaju Ifa Damilare. I am here today to speak exclusively on the ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE. I actually want to teach the world what ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE says. So for example, if you go for a divination from any part of the world and you have ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE, what message is your creator passing across to you? So that is why I am going live on this video. What message does your creator have for you when you have ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE? And do not forget, we have 256 ODU IFÁ. So I am starting today with EJIOGBE. So my next video will be on Oyekumeji, then Iwurimeji, Idimeji, and so on and so forth, until we have the opportunity to get to the last ODU IFÁ, which is Ofun or Share. Ofun Share, we also call it Ofun Share. So today I want to speak exclusively on ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE. What does ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE says? If, however, you go for a divination and your Babalawo says, Ifá tá a dá fún yín o EJIOGBE ni, kí ni nǹkan tí EJIOGBE yẹn kí ló sọ? Báwo ni EJIOGBE, báwo ló ṣe bá wa wí? And you know EJIOGBE is one of the most popular ODU IFÁ. So it's very rampant, it's very common, so it's easy for people to pronounce the word EJIOGBE. So it is not about the pronunciation this time around, but it's about the content of that EJIOGBE. Kí ló bá wa sọ? Before I proceed, I'll take you back. It has been my nature, my attitude. I'll take you back to the ODU IFÁ I used in the veneration earlier. Orumila call Obara Lurosun. Ifa mi are ni rere ba jaye bara mi agboni regun. That is Obara in the right hand, Irosun in the left hand. So I love to break everything down in order for people to understand what Ifa is all about, should in case you are interested in learning Ifa. Orumila call Obara Lurosun. Ifa mi are ni rere ba jaye, oni torofini reni rere ba jaye. Torofini je oloja láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ eku. So Torofini happens to be one of the most respected, one of the most honored rabbits. As you know, we have different rabbits in the bush. We have Eku Emon, we have Eku Asin, we have Eku Aseye, we have Eku Afo, we have Eku Ayara. We have Torofini. So Torofini is well respected. Torofini is a king among the rabbits. So Orumila says that Torofini orí ènìyàn rere bá jayé, wọ́n fi Torofini jẹ ọlọ́jà láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ eku. Ó ní àkàràbà rẹ̀ ni rere bá jayé. Àkàràbà is the shark in the ocean. So as you all know, these are simple explanations. You know, shark is well respected in the ocean. Every other small fishes, when they see shark, they're trying to escape because they know the harms it can do to them. So shark is well respected. So Akaraba is the shark Orumila is talking about. As well as Okin, as well as Kiniun. Kiniun is the lion. So you know what it means when you hear the name lion. So as well as Okombi. Okombi is a king. So if you have a king in your community, a king in your town, that is the Okombi. And if, however, you are initiated to Ifa in your family, you are the Okombi of your family. That is the message of Obara Irosun. It's the Ishise of Obara Irosun. Obara in the right hand, Irosun in the left hand. So Orumila yo tekeleje fami agbanire, that is Oduifa Osameji. That is one of the Ishise of Oduifa Osameji, and so on and so forth. So now coming back to what EJIOGBE says, Samiat. Oh, Samiat. Okay, I love the way you break it down. Much thanks for your... Oh, thank you very much, Samiat. I really appreciate. So, EJIOGBE, if you go for a divination from your Ifa priest, and your priest said the Oduifa is EJIOGBE, what does EJIOGBE says about you? And do not forget, when we make a divination, I don't know of other places, we have different babalawos across the universe. But I live in Akure, Ondo State, and where I have the opportunity to learn Ifa, when you make a divination, you need to ask from Orumila, does this Ifa comes with Ire or Ayewo? Ire can be tagged as positivity, while Ayewo can be tagged as negativity. So this particular session is actually for people who need wisdom and knowledge. So I am here to share knowledge. I am here to share wisdom. So there's nothing you can expect from this session except the wisdom of Orumila and the knowledge of Orumila. So they will ask from Orumila, in this Oduifa, what have you seen? Is it positivity or negativity? So if, however, Ifa says that it's positivity, then they have to continue asking from Orumila to know the exact positivity that Orumila had seen. And if it is negativity, you also need to seek the information to know the exact negativity that Orumila had seen. But whichever way, in as much it has to do with EJIOGBE and every other Oduifa, first of all, where we have the opportunity to learn Ifa, when you go for a divination and you have EJIOGBE, in Ondo State and Ekiti State, there is something we call Ishise Ifa. So we love to explain Ifa from Ishise. So what do we mean by Ishise Ifa? Ishise Ifa is the admonishment of Orumila. That is the Ishise Ifa, admonishment. So you can imagine when we are talking about admonishment, it's like an advice. It's like an advice Orunmila gave to everyone in each ODU from EJIOGBE to Ofuneshe. So one of the first advice, one of the first admonishments from Orunmila in EJIOGBE spoke about foundation. And there is no way you want to explain ODU EJIOGBE. There are some Babalawos that can explain EJIOGBE in 30 verses. Some can explain it in 40 verses. Some can explain it in 20 verses. Like myself, I can explain EJIOGBE in 20 verses or more than a little bit. But there is no way you want to explain ODU EJIOGBE. You are still coming back to that, she said, that admonishment of Orunmila. Because Orunmila admonishment will always come with ease. And sometimes it is very easy to learn IFÁ. It is very easy to know IFÁ when you start from that Ishise. So the difference between Ishise and EJIOGBE is Adifa fún Orunmila, Adifa fún Lágbájá, Adifa fún Tàmàdò, Adifa fún Ògún, Adifa fún Ṣàngó, Adifa fún Ọbàtálá, and so on and so forth. So anybody you want to die Ifá fún, that is EJIOGBE. But Ishise IFÁ, Orunmila says, that is the words of wisdom directly from Orunmila, untouched wisdom. So I am going to explain EJIOGBE starting from the Ishise of that EJIOGBE. So and one of the Ishise spoke about foundation. So the second Ishise I'm going to speak on spoke about peace of mind. So if anyone comes for a divination and asks EJIOGBE, IFÁ is actually telling the person to go and look at his or her foundation. He or she should go and start his own life or her own life from the foundation. That is EJIOGBE. I have explained EJIOGBE previously in some of my videos, why I use it for veneration. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. So you can see the Ishise that I'm talking about, the admonishment that I'm talking about. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. Yudi no shin taye. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. Yudi no shin ogunro. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. Yudi no sunrun omo. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. Yudi no shin ota. Orunmila yudi Ifá mi udi bara mi agboniregun. Yudi ni olókòkò ṣìkò tí ń mú igi tirẹ̀gùn tó ń gùn járí. Ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fọ́mọ ẹni kó lọ mú ọ̀rọ̀ ara rẹ̀ láti dì í torí kó má bàa kùbò, torí kó má bàa kù rẹ́gẹ́dẹ́. Ifá má jẹ́ kí n kùbò ẹ̀yìn aworo, ọ̀pẹ̀sẹ̀gì má jẹ́ n kùbò ẹ̀yìn aworo. That is the admonishment of Orunmila. One of the admonishment of Orunmila in ODU EJIOGBE. That is one of the Ishise of EJIOGBE. So when Orunmila is talking about Udi, okay, I love the way you clarify IFÁ. Move up. Thank you very much. That is success. I've also said, thank you very much. So when Orunmila is giving an admonishment, Orunmila will never force you to abide by the admonishment he's giving you. Orunmila will never ask you to obey or to accept the admonishment. Just like every Babalawo will do when you come for a divination and a Babalawo explain IFÁ to you. Babalawo will never force you. If you like, you accept, and if you don't like, you go. But whatever Orunmila says, whatever the Babalawo says, will come to pass. That is 100% mandatory. So here, Orunmila is talking about Udi. What is Udi? Udi is a native language of Akure and Ekiti. So Udi in Yoruba means Idi. In English, it means foundation. So Orunmila says, this is foundation. And I responded, yes, it is. Barami Agboniregun. It says, if you want to open an alligator pepe, Itaye is an Akure native language. In Yoruba, it's called Atari, and in English, it's known to be alligator pepe. So it says if you want to open an alligator pepper, you have to open that alligator pepper from the bottom. Look at the wisdom. It says Idiniwonshi Oguro. What is Oguro? Oguro actually looks like an alligator pepper. We have two different types of alligator pepper. We have the smaller one, it's very tiny, and we have the bigger one. So that bigger one, some call it Atari Ajija. That is what Orunmila refers to as Oguro. So he said, if you actually want to open that Oguro, you have to open it from the bottom. Orunmila says, that is, before a child can be conceived, before the issue of pregnancy can come up, the husband, we have to have something with the wife. Then in the course of that, there will be a transfer of a semen from the man to the woman. So the cause of that transfer is what Orunmila referred to as Udi, that is foundation. I hope you are learning from me. You are not learning from me. I hope you are learning from Orunmila. You are learning from Olodumare. So he said that process where the semen is being transferred from man to woman is foundation. He said Udiniwonshi Ota. So back in the days, if you have a grinding stone and it's as big as anything that you cannot lift up, you have to put your hand under the stone, lift it up, push it up, push it forward. That is Udi. Only Udiniwonshi Ota. Only one sọ fún ọmọ tòun. That is, the person that comes for that divination should be warned, should be advised to go back to his or her own foundation. For that person not to experience negativity, for that person not to lose it all in life. That is one of the issues of EJIOGBE. So today, in today's world, if you go to anywhere, they say they have EJIOGBE, they say, you are a king. Yes, IFÁ spoke about kingship. EJIOGBE spoke about you being a king. But you cannot become a king if you do not go back to that foundation that Orunmila had advised you to go to. I hope you are getting the point. I hope you are learning. That is EJIOGBE, one of the Ishise of EJIOGBE. Now, I will move to another Ishise. Over here, in this particular Ishise, if you have EJIOGBE, IFÁ automatically says that the person is not at peace. There is no peace of mind. The person is struggling with life. Struggling. You want to eat, you struggle. You want to drink, you struggle. You want to buy anything, you struggle. There is no peace. It's not happy. So for that person to experience purity, for that person to experience stability, for that person to experience peace of mind, the person will have to offer okra as a sacrifice. We have to offer water, the water you drink, as a sacrifice, and the person will have to offer garden egg, which Yoruba call igba. In my native language, we call it ajegun. We have to offer that 3 things as sacrifice for that person to have peace of mind. Orunmila yìí sin nire. Ifá mo ló tó kẹ́lẹ́ ni ó ní sinmi. Ó ní kí n mú nǹkan jọ ẹbọ ìsinmi wá. Mo ní eku méjì olùmúwéré. Orunmila ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ. Orunmila yìí sin nire. Ifá mo ló tó kẹ́lẹ́ ni ó ní sinmi. Ó ní kí n mú nǹkan jọ ẹbọ ìsinmi wá. Mo ní ẹja méjì abirùgbàdà. Orunmila ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ. Orunmila yìí sin nire. Ifá mo ló tó kẹ́lẹ́ ni ó ní sinmi. Ó ní kí n mú nǹkan jọ ẹbọ ìsinmi wá. Mo ní obídìyẹ abẹ̀dọ̀lùkẹ́lùkẹ́. Orunmila ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ. Ewúrẹ́ abọmúrẹ́dẹ́rẹ́dẹ́. Orunmila ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ. Àgbò abìjọ̀jọ̀ lọ́rùn. Orunmila ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ. Ògbó erin ilá amú oṣù ká lórí. Orunmila yìí ó lè ní mo rè. Yóò kọrọ jíjẹ ni mo yà sí. Mo ní Orunmila mo jẹ́wọ́ ọ̀bùn kó o dá mi láṣọ ró. Mèsì ìkọ̀lé ọmọ erin fún gúù lókè àlọ́. Èmi ò mọ ohun tá máa fi ṣe tẹ́ná fi ní ìsinmi nílé ayé. Olódẹni tó ní ilá, olódẹni tó ní ikàn, olódẹni tó ní igbá omi tútù. Tá a bá ti wá rí tá a mú dé ńkọ́, ó ní ṣé mi ò mọ̀ pé tẹ́ni bá ti fi lárúbọ, ó ní ìwà rẹ̀ alálá. ó ní bẹ́ni bá ti fi ikàn rúbọ ó ní wàrí á kàn gbogbogbò ó ní bẹ́ni bá ti fi omi rúbọ ó lẹ́ni á ní ìsinmi nílé ayé ìṣàládé o mà kú ìsinmi ó lélé àjàsími wọ̀ ó lélé. So this particular, she said, this particular admonishment of Orunmila in Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè, how does it apply to us? When Orunmila says this person doesn't have peace of mind, so Orunmila automatically advised the person to go and offer okra, garden egg, and water as items for sacrifice for that person to have peace of mind. I said, okay, Orunmila, why do we have to offer okra, garden egg, and water? He said, don't you know that when you offer okra as a sacrifice, that person's attitude is going to expound, is going to be known positively. He says, I said, Orunmila, what happened if we use garden egg for sacrifice? That is, that person will be known all over the world. If we use water, what happened? He said, if you use water, the person will have peace of mind. Because omi, omwero, loje fun aye. So water represents peace. Water represents calmness. He said, once the person uses water, he or she will experience peace in his or her mind. So that is the number 2 verse of EJIOGBE, which are the issues. So you can see that it's very easy to learn IFÁ when you learn from me. So I'm not actually saying you should come and learn IFÁ from me. I'm very busy. So now let me go to number 3 verse of Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè. When you have Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè, IFÁ actually spoke about the importance of having IFÁ initiation. If you have Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè and you are not initiated into IFÁ, it will be difficult for you to be successful in life. This one has nothing to do with witches. It has nothing to do with wizard. It has nothing to do with family battle or somebody inflicting spiritual pain. Nobody has time to inflict pain on you. Like I've been saying in my previous video, the only problem is that people are not working according to their destiny. And if you are not living your life according to what you have chosen from your Creator, there will be a problem. That is 100% certain. So the cause of that problem might attract different people, negative people, different energy, different negative energy. So there is no way you will have Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè without you having IFÁ initiation. It will be difficult. And do not forget, if you have Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè, automatically IFÁ had instructed you to always be on white attire. Every of your clothes, starting from your cap, starting from your clothes, your boxer, your bra, your whatever you might want to talk about, it has to be white. Because that is when your real energy can operate spiritually. That is when your real energy can operate spiritually. That is EJIOGBE. But unfortunately, a lot of people that are carrying this energy today, red color is their favorite. Black color is their favorite. So all these things are contradictory. And at the end of the day, you would think it is somebody that is responsible for your failure. At the end of the day, you would think it is somebody that is responsible for your setback in life. Meanwhile, it is just a mere negligence, ignorance. Ifá ní jíjí tí mo jí, mo kó ire. Take note of the words. Ọ̀nà ni mo rìn, mo kó Ifá. Ẹnìkan ò kì í jí ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀ kó má mọ Ifá tó dá sílé ayé. Take note of that words. Àwọn ló dífá fún onípò Ẹ̀làyélú, èyí tí ó fi ìlànà bàbá tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀, èyí tí ó ń tẹ̀lé ìlànà bàbá oníbàbá. Jíjí tí mo jí ni mo kó ire, ọ̀nà ni mo rìn ni mo kó Ifá. Ẹnìkan ò kì í jí ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀ kó má mọ Ifá tó dá sílé ayé. Adífá fún onípò èyí tí ó fi ìlànà bàbá rẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tí ó máa tẹ̀lé ìlànà bàbá oníbàbá. Look at the direct message of Orunmila. So here, if the person have Odù-Ifá Ìjìogbè, Orunmila is actually telling the person that this person ó ti fi ìlànà bàbá tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀ o, ìlànà bàbá oníbàbá òun ló ń tẹ̀lé. This person has deviated from his or her foundation. This person has migrated from Isua foundation. Only ẹnìkan ò kí ń jí ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀ kó máa mọ Ifá tó dá sílé ayé. That is where Ifá instructed that person to go for Ifá initiation. So there is no way you are having ODU EJIOGBE without you having Ifá initiation. Tó o bá ti tẹ̀fá, if you are not initiated into Ifá, there will be failure. There are tendency for failure. Failure is inevitable. So that failure is not associated with witches. That failure is not associated with anybody. The failure is as a result of ignorance. Ẹnìkan ò ní jí ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀ kó máa mọ Ifá tó dá sílé ayé. Take note of that word. Àwọn ló dífá fún onípò máa fi ìlànà bàbá tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ó ń tẹ̀lé ìlànà bàbá oníbàbá. Now let me now tell you the story of Onipo. When they gave back to Onipo, they did this at Kosejaye. So the parents were advised, Omote Biyo, this your child is going to be a Babalawo when he grow up. So please train him in the right way. So in the course of Onipo growing up, Onipo never listened to his parents. Instead, he decided to follow the footpath of his friends. He followed the footpath of his friends. So EJIOGBE, Ifá is actually instructing that person to be careful of friends, because it is friends that will mislead that person. Message from outsider. So while Onipo was growing up, he never hearkened to the advice given to him by his parents through the Babalawos. So in the course of that, he's growing up. When he get to the stage of him getting married, no wife. When he get to the stage of him having children, no children. When he get to the stage of him having a good job, there's no job. He was just roaming about the street, begging for food. So one day, he was convinced that what is really happening to me? Let me go to the Babalawo and make a divination again. Onipo went to make a divination. It is the same ODU EJIOGBE that came out for Onipo. So they said, you Onipo, there is no two ways about it. There is nothing you can do. All you have to do is to go for Ifá initiation. Then after your initiation, go and learn Ifá and start praying for people and start liberating people. So if you have ODU EJIOGBE, there is no other work you are here to do than the work of a Babalawo. Just the way I used to talk, the way I used to pray, the nature of my job is what you have come to do. So if you have ODU EJIOGBE and you are not doing the work of Ifá, there will be problem for you. The problem is not associated with anybody. And if you are a woman and you have that ODU Ifá, either the ODU Ifá was divine for you, or you have it in Igbodu. If you have it in Igbodu as a woman, you have to marry a Babalawo, an Ifá priest. And if the ODU Ifá is divine for you, Ifá is actually instructing you to say that you go and have your Ifá initiation, or you go and stay with a Babalawo. Because if you do not marry an Ifá priest, it will be difficult for you to have a settled home. That is EJIOGBE. It was then Onipo akin to the instruction of Babalawo. He went for Ifá initiation, he started learning Ifá, and after some years, he graduated. When he started praying for people, people started receiving liberation. So if you have ODU EJIOGBE, Ifá says that there are some people that are in bondage. You are the one that has been given the permission from Olodumare to set them free. So if those people that are in bondage, if you are not available to set them free, definitely you will experience bondage. The same bondage those people are experiencing. So because when we are talking about Babalawo, we are talking about the messenger of Olodumare. Babalawo are divine beings. They are different human because of the energy, inbuilt energy from Olodumare. When Onipo started praying for people, they said, Onipo, your house is very rough. We need to build you a house. So people gathered. The people he is praying for, they gathered, they built him a good house. People gathered, they bought him a horse, which can be referred to as a car today. They said, okay, Onipo, It is not good for a babalawo not to have a wife at home. They look for a beautiful wife in the community. They gave him. Few months after that, the wife conceived and gave birth. So what he was unable to achieve for so long, why he hasn't come back to IFÁ, he achieved it few years after coming back to IFÁ. So I hope you are getting the message of IFÁ in that ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE. So it was then Onipo was now singing, he was now dancing, he was now praising the IFÁ priest. And the IFÁ priest was praising IFÁ, while IFÁ was praising Olódùmarè. Onyawo awonifa Ifá yin Olódùmarè ọba tẹ́nilẹ́ngẹ́ forí ṣàpèjì omi. Ó ní gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni babaláwo tòun ṣẹ́ni rere tó ń kífá. Ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Ọ̀rúnmìlà ṣẹ́ni rere fọ́lẹ̀. Jíjí tí mo jí ni mo kó eré, ọ̀nà ni mo rìn ni mo kó ifá. Ẹnìkan ò kì í jí ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀ kó má mọ ifá tó dá sílé ayé. Adífá fún onípò èyí tí ó fi ìlànà bàbá tirẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tí ó máa tọ ìlànà bàbá oníbàbá. Ǹjẹ́ rírú ẹbọ ló ń gbé ní èrò àtòkèṣù? Káwá bá ní jẹ̀bútúre gbogbo, jẹ̀bútúre là ń bá ní lẹ́sẹ̀ ọba òrìṣà. So if you have ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE, IFÁ is actually instructing you to go and get your IFÁ initiation done properly. That is ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE. Then, coming back again, if you have ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE, IFÁ is actually telling you that that person is experiencing sickness in his or her body. If the person is a woman, she is experiencing sickness. That sickness, there is no medicine that can cure the sickness. The only cure to that sickness as a woman is for that woman to be taken to babalawo to marry. It is only a babalawo that can marry that woman. If the woman moves to the house of a babalawo, the babalawo will not give him anything, give her anything to take. The moment she moves into that babalawo house, she's automatically healed. That is ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE. So, if he's a man and he's experiencing sickness, IFÁ says that all he needs to do is to go and have IFÁ initiation. So, in the course of his IFÁ initiation in Igbodu, those sickness, IFÁ will automatically take it away from him. That is what EJIOGBE says. IFÁ ni ito balẹ̀, oru ṣẹ̀kẹ̀, kẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ balẹ̀, fi gbogbo ara yérùkù. Adífá fún dídùn tí ń ṣọmọ òrìṣà ògbójì, àti sọ òrìṣà Ọbàtálá, níjọ́ tí ń fojoojúmọ́ ṣọ̀gbọ̀gbọ̀ àrùn aláìlédìde. So dídùn, dídùn can be referred to in English as sweetness. Dídùn happens to be the daughter of òrìṣà Ọbàtálá. But unfortunately for her, she was experiencing sickness in her body. And they have taken her everywhere. They have taken different medication. They have used different medicine. The sickness refuses to go. So Ọbàtálá woke up one day and said, what is happening? How can my own daughter be experiencing such a sickness? What has she done? Ọbàtálá sent for Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Ọ̀rúnmìlà came to the house of Ọbàtálá to make a divination for Dídùn, which happens to be the daughter of Ọbàtálá. So after making the divination, it was ODU IFÁ EJIOGBE that came out. So Ọ̀rúnmìlà instructed Dídùn and Ọbàtálá that if you want this sickness to go, all you have to do is to present this girl to an IFÁ priest. Once you present her to an IFÁ priest, naturally the sickness will go. NU Occult Classics. Thank you. So Ọ̀rúnmìlà instructed Ọbàtálá that if you want this sickness to go, take this lady to an IFÁ priest. Not necessarily me Ọ̀rúnmìlà, but just look for an IFÁ priest, present her to him, and automatically the sickness will go. So Dídùn, being a beautiful girl, she refuses to hearken to the voice of IFÁ. She refuses to hearken to the voice of her father, which is Ọbàtálá, and Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Ọ̀rúnmìlà went his way and the sickness continues. They tried everything possible. The sickness did not go. After some time, Ọbàtálá have to send for Ọ̀rúnmìlà again. Ọ̀rúnmìlà, please come to my house. Come and save my daughter. Orunmila came again, he make a divination. It's the same Oduifa Ejogbe. Orunmila says, Obatala, like Ifa had spoken previously, if you want this lady to be healed of her sickness, present this lady to an Awo. Because Didu had experienced so many unwanted circumstances, so many difficult situations, so many pains, agony. So she now accepted to marry an Awo. So she was now presented to Orunmila as a wife. Immediately, Orunmila took her home. That sickness, Ifa took it away from her life. Didu was now rejoicing. She was praising the Awo. Why Awo was praising Ifa? Why Ifa was praising the Olodumare Oba? Oyin Awo, Oyin Ifa ni Olodumare Oba tẹ́nilẹ́ngẹ́ foríṣà péjú omi ó lanu kó tó rí àwọn olóko sí lẹ́nu. Èṣe kí ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, kí ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, ìtọ́balẹ̀ róṣẹ́kẹ́ òrìṣà, ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, kẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ balẹ̀ farayérùkù òrìṣà, ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, kí ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà, ló fi dídùn fáwo òrìṣà. So if you have that Oduifa Ejogbe, Ifa says that that person is having a sickness in his or her body. If it's a woman, she must be presented to an Awo for that sickness to go. So Didun, being a daughter of Obatala, you know the attire of Obatala is pure white. That is where Ifa instructed every human associated with Oduifa Ejogbe to always be on white attire. To always be on white attire. Being on white attire brings so many positivity. First of all, it brings victory. Nobody can overcome you. It brings prosperity. You don't need to struggle to make wealth. It brings positivity. It brings all of the blessings of Olodumare. But unfortunately, because of the problem associated in the person's life, the person might choose red color to be his or her favorite. The person might choose black color to be his or her favorite. So when problems start coming, what do we do? Who do we run to? Who is now responsible for the problem? So if the person now go to a mountain to pray, the pastor will say, oh, it is your mother. Your mother is a winch. Oh, the second wife of your father is a winch. Oh, your brother is a wicked brother, is the one inflicting. Everybody will just keep saying what they don't know. Meanwhile, the problem is ignorance and negligence. That is another verse of Oduifa Ejogbe. I think I am communicating, and I hope you are learning from my communication. So when we talk about Oduifa Ejogbe, Ifa spoke about sweetness. Remember, I just explained Didu, who happens to be the daughter of Obatala. Now, Ifa is actually talking about another angle where salt and honey went for a divination because they do not want to experience bitterness. So Ifa says that whoever has this divination, if the person is able to have Ifa initiation and the person is able to do the right thing, till the end of time, the person will never experience bitterness. But what will the person do that will enable him or her not to experience bitterness? Is for him to abide by the instruction of Ifa. And sometimes the instruction of Ifa might not be suitable in our hair. The instruction of Ifa might not be suitable in our hair. Imagine when Ifa tells you not to eat a catfish, you feel bad because that is your favorite fish. And there is no way you have the Oduifa Ejogbe. If you are eating a catfish, you are eating a snail, you are eating okra, you are wearing black cloth, you are wearing red cloth, there will be problem. It's an automatic problem. Ifa ní òbùtùbùtù iyẹ̀pẹ̀, ìyẹn tó ọmọdé ṣeré, adífá fún oyin, abọ́ ọkùnrin fún iyọ̀. Òbùtùbùtù iyẹ̀pẹ̀, ó tó ọmọdé ṣeré, adífá fún oyin, abọ́ ọkùnrin fún iyọ̀. ayé àwọn lè dádùn dọjọ́ alẹ́ làwọn méjèèjì lọ rè dáfá sí. So Obutubutu Yepe means a bunch of a sound is enough for the little children to play with. A bunch of sound. You know, while you are very young, while I am very young, you love to play with sound. IFÁ says that when you bring those sounds together, you see different children coming together to play with the sound. So they were the one that make a divination for honey, at the same time salt. Honey and salt, they went for a divination. What are we going to offer that will make our life to sweet till the end of time? What do we need to offer that will not allow us to experience bitterness? So they were asked to offer sacrifice. They were asked to appease the issue. They were asked to appease the Iyamis. And they did according to the instruction of the Babalawos. And from that moment, salt never experienced bitterness. From that moment, honey never experienced bitterness. So EJIOGBE actually says that there is no one that will have that divination. If the person follows the due process, he or she will never experience bitterness. That is ODU EJIOGBE. So like I said, I can explain EJIOGBE in at least 20 verses. But I'm going to add one more verse where IFÁ speaks about you becoming a king. Whoever have that divination, if he's a man, IFÁ says that he is from a royal family. If the person is a man, he is from a royal family. There is a kingship position in that family that if the person is able to abide by the rules and regulations of IFÁ, he will still become that king. He will become that high chief. If it's a woman, IFÁ says that she is from a royal family. But for her to attain that position, she must marry an IFÁ priest. She must be initiated into IFÁ. IFÁ ni jíjí tí mo jí, mo múrù kẹrẹ bàbá mi tòròfíní tòròfíní. Jíjí tí mo jí, mo múrù kẹrẹ bàbá mi túrúgbájà túrúgbájà. Adífá fún igbó, igbó ń sunkún pòun ò létí. Adífá fún òkè, òkè ń sunkún pòun ò lẹ́sẹ̀. Adífá fún omi, omi ń sunkún pòun ò lójú pọ́n. In that EJIOGBE, as IFÁ is talking about kingship, IFÁ is also instructing the person that the person has 3 problems that he or she is facing. At the same time, if IFÁ says that person has 3 friends, and those 3 friends, they are going through different difficult situations. First of all, those 3 friends, they must be initiated into IFÁ for them to have a way out in the course of their journey in life. Now, IFÁ also uses Igbo. Igbo is the bush, the grasses in the bush. IFÁ uses that grass as illustration. That grass went for a divination. The purpose of that divination is when humans speak or when they talk, Igbo says that they want to have the opportunity to be listening and hearing what human says. That was the purpose of divination. They were advised to make sacrifice. When we're talking about sacrifice, we are offering sacrifice to Olodumare through Eshodara. That is why every power you want to talk about lies with Olodumare. And Olodumare are giving those power to some energies. Those power have been given to Eshu. Eshu is the energy of justice. So if you do something negative, Eshu is there to give you the negative judgment. If you do something positive, it is Eshu that will give you the positive judgment. So you know some religion, they said after death judgment. We are being deceived. There is nothing like after death judgment. If you do something wrong today, give it a year, 2 years, you will receive the judgment of the wrong you did. There is nothing like after death is judgment. Nothing like that. It's just a mere deceit. It's a mere fallacy. It's just a way to create tension in your heart so that you can abide by their rules and regulations. Your creator is not wicked. Your creator is not a bad person to the extent of creating you, at the same time allowing you to commit a sin that will take you to a certain place, which they call fire. There is nothing like fire. It's just a friction. Like, for example, you that you are listening to me now, for example, maybe I want to get something from you, and I know that if I talk to you, you will listen. So I have to create a scene of fear into your heart. That is what the religious leaders are doing in Africa. They tell you, if you do not pay your tithe, you go to hellfire. Who created the hellfire? Who have been to the hellfire? Who have been to heaven? There should be an evidence. For example, if somebody who call himself man of God or whatsoever has been to hellfire, there should be an evidence. When you come back, tell us, show us. When I went to hellfire, oh, the fire, the as heavy as the fire is, it burned my skin. Look at it. There is no evidence. Everybody is just coming up with an idea to make money from you. Nothing like hellfire, nothing like heaven. If you are living in America, you are automatically living in heaven. I'm sorry to say, if you are living in the United Kingdom, you are in heaven. There was a time, Paris, the city of Paris, was known to be one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So if you are living in Paris, you are living in heaven. And my brothers and sisters, if you are living in Nigeria, you know what it means. You are living in hellfire. So tell me another hellfire that is different from Africa hellfire. We don't have light, we don't have stable, we don't have road. There's no employment opportunities. There is nothing. Nothing is working in Africa. Nothing is working in Nigeria. So are you telling me Nigeria is not an hellfire? So after going through every situation in Nigeria, somebody is still telling you that there is a place called hellfire you are going to. It's just a fallacy. It's a friction. It's a way of bringing you into bondage. Because if you are not being captivated, you will not be captured. So now, before I forget my explanation, the ODU EJIOGBE, where Igbo says he wants to have the opportunity. Oshua, I have been watching all your videos. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. Thanks to Olodumare. Thanks to Olodumare. So Igbo says that he wants to have the opportunity to listen to whenever human speak. He was asked to offer sacrifice, and he agreed to offer the sacrifice. Ever since then, that is why there are some natural leaves you want to pluck. There are some incantations that you need to say. If you do not say it, if you pluck that leaf, use it, it will not work. Because Olodumare have given Igbo the power, the energy to hear when humans speak. Okay says that the problem of okay is a mountain. The problem a mountain has back then is you will see a mountain as long as possible, as tall as possible. You will not have an access to climb the mountain. So that was the purpose of mountain, going for a divination. I want to have a step. I want to have a foundation. I want to have a place where human can come up. He was also asked to offer sacrifice. He did comply with the sacrifice. From that moment, Eshu gave human the orientation and the energy. They start creating foundation, they start creating step to every mountain. So no matter how high a mountain is today, you still have a place to climb the mountain. The sacrifice of mountain was accepted. Water, omi, what is ojukpon? A place where you can actually fetch the water. That is why no matter how big the river is, no matter how big an ocean is, there will be a peaceful place in that ocean. There will be a peaceful place in that river where people can come, they fetch. They don't mind queuing for that process because that is the only place the water is very peaceful. That was when the sacrifice of water was accepted. So actually, IFÁ says that this person is having 3 problems. He should offer sacrifice for that problem to go. But now coming back to where IFÁ says digiti mojimo murukere baba mi turufini. Who are the people using the rukere? Obalade, the king, are the one using the rukere. Ìjòyè, the high chief in the community, are the one using ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀. The babalawos are the one using ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀. Now, if I says jíjí mo jí, mo mú ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ bàbá mi tùrùfíní, what message can you derive from that? Meaning that this person who have this ODU-FA EJIOGBE, it is either he is from a royal family, and if he follow the due process, he will be enthroned to that. He will be in that throne. It is not the person from a royal family, or the person is from an IFÁ lineage. It's the pure Babalawo from Olodumare. Now imagine such a person is becoming a lawyer. Such a person is a teacher. There will be problem. There will be problem. So if you look at all this explanation, coming back to where we started the IFÁ explanation in Ishise foundation, you realize that everything resulted back to that foundation. Everything resulted back to that foundation. So today I have been able to explain IFÁ EJIOGBE in almost 5 or 6 verses for you. And I hope you'll be able to learn 1 or 2 messages from it. That is the work of a Babalawo. So a Babalawo is a born preacher. They are born teacher. They give the direct message of Olodumare, irrespective of whoever comes for the divination. So today, I want to thank you all for having the privilege to watch me and to listen to me. So the next time I will come, I will speak on Oyekumeji. At least either 5 or 6 verses as well, so that you can learn. As I am teaching you, you can be writing it down. Because IFÁ is the words of Olodumare. And it is important for everyone to know IFÁ. It is important for everyone to have IFÁ. Today you cannot be a Christian if you do not have a Bible. You cannot be a Muslim if you do not have a Quran. So there is no way you can be a traditionalist without you being initiated into IFÁ, to know your essence of existence. Your essence of existence is very important. To know your taboos. It's very important to know your taboos. EJIOGBE speaks about many things. EJIOGBE speaks about you having a good relationship with your Hori. If you do not, a lot of problems we are facing today is as a result of we not having a good relationship with our Hori. So how do we go about it? How do we now go about it? So please, I've been able to impact your life positively today, and I hope Olodumare will give us another privilege to have this session again. Thank you very much. Elaboru, elaboye, boshishe, ogbo, ato, asure, iworiwo fun. Thank you. You are speaking well, sir. Much to digest. Okay, thank you very much. I pray Olodumare continues to bless you. Thank you very much. Ire o, ẹ ṣé, mo dúpẹ́, àdúrà yín á gbà, ọkàn yín á balẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé, thank you.